Costa Rica was amazing, and I went on this trip originally because I just loved the idea of mission work. And when we went to Dallas before, and I just love mission, and I thought it would be really cool to go out of the country and do a whole new type and get out of my comfort zone and try something new. Our team that went to Costa Rica this year was awesome. Each day began waking up at 6:30 and taking a cold shower, and lukewarm if you were lucky. We would have breakfast and spend time in the Bible. People at Pura Vida referred to it as tag time. Tag stood for time alone with God. Each day we would go to two different sites, Bajo Tajares and Linda Vista. Bajo Tajares had around 60 kids a day. These kids came from more of an urban environment. When our bus would pull up, the kids would come running, gringos, gringos, to the beaten down playground that we were serving at. The girls loved getting their nails done and jump roping a lot. And they loved bubbles and chalk. Oh, they loved chalk. With a lot of the older boys, we would play soccer, and they were really rough. And one of them even brought 2 Rottweilers with him one day. As rough as these kids were, we were able to share the love of God with them the whole week. In the afternoons, we would go to Linda Vista, and out there it was more country and really poor. The houses that these kids lived in were really more like shacks and dirt floors, and the kids here were a lot younger, and they were much sweeter and nicer to us. It was definitely a poor area. We learned some of the backstories of these kids. Some of these kids were growing up with prostitution and drugs all around them. A lot of these kids were related. Some of the older brother and sisters had to play mom and dad for the younger brother and sisters. For these few hours in the afternoon, these kids were allowed to be kids. They would play with bubbles, jump on backs, and just smile. We loved this sight a lot. Costa Rica was very eye-opening. Don't get me wrong, we loved the beach and the waterfall and the monkeys. But the thing I took away the most was to be content with what you have. I saw these kids who had nothing and lived in these poor conditions, but they still were happy and didn't complain. And of course they didn't know any better, but it's so crazy to me, and how uncontent I can be in my life. Over 95% of the kids finish 6th grade, but after that, only 50% go to 7th through 12th grade because it isn't mandatory. It costs a lot to go to school there, and that's why a lot of the kids drop out. Those who drop out start working or get caught up in prostitution and drugs. I'm so grateful for the way the Lord has blessed me and my family. We will never have to go through some of these hardships that these kids have been through. It was a blessing to be with them for a week and give them a glimpse of hope and peace that I have through Christ. I will be forever changed by this trip, and I can't wait until the next time I go to Costa Rica and serve again.